How's everybody doing this evening? This is awesome. So I'm a positive dude, and I like to start off all of my sets with positivity. So what I want you guys to do is to join hands by clap, come on, clap. When I say Bluebird, you say comedy, Bluebird. Bluebird. When I say stand up, you say comedy, stand up. Stand up. When I say give me your money, you give me your money, because now this is a whimsical robbery. I see no one is reaching for their wallets. So that did not work, and I will not be paid tonight. It is okay. You can't blame a guy for trying to rob you. So my name is Maurice Licorish. That is very much my real name. It's actually, there's a legion of licorishes that exists in the world, and I'm one of them. And whenever I introduce myself, people always zoom in on that name and are fascinated where it comes from, so much that I just have a go-to line, and I'm just like, well, okay, it's from my dad's side. We're from the Caribbean, we're from Barbados, and the origin of licorice comes from slavery. And then the conversation is over. It stops. There's no more talking. They feel uncomfortable. But really, the conversation's not over, right? Because in those moments, I hold all the cards, and I can control which direction the conversation goes from there. In many ways, I'm like the pirate of Captain Phillips. You know? I'm just like the pirate from that movie. I'm just like, look at me. Look at me. I am the captain now. What are your hobbies? Where do you work? How do you feel about the first season of Luke Cage? It's really good. It's really good. No spoilers, no spoilers. I'm really glad that this room is full of women. I have a strong respect for women because I grew up in a household full of women. My mom was a strong black woman. My sister, strong black woman. My grandmother, God rest her soul, strong black woman. They raised me to be the person that you see in front of you today, which is a wise, respectful, strong black woman. And that's why I don't date men, because ain't none of them paying my bills. You see that? That is not genetic, that is taught behavior. I grew up parked in front of the TV, and all I did growing up was watching cartoons. To the point where now as a full-grown adult, I apply cartoon logic to my everyday life. You know, example, when I'm single, I don't worry about it because cartoon logic dictates that for every Mickey Mouse there's a Minnie Mouse, for every Donald Duck there's a Daisy Duck. That means that somewhere out there right now is my one true love. And she is going to look exactly like me, but with a bow and a skirt on. And her name is probably gonna be Monique Spearmint. I'm a college graduate. I graduated from Howard University. It is a historical black college. Thank you to black people who knew that. Thank you. I love you guys. And my time there was for those of you who don't know, it is a historical black college. What that means is that the entire population of students is made up of these intelligent African Americans. And it doesn't just stop there. All of the teachers are black. Even the administratives are black. Even the janitors are Hispanic. And my time there was so informative. The very first class that I ever had, we spoke for 45 minutes about the origins of the N-word and its impact on society. And I was so enthralled in this conversation that at the end of it, the professor said, "Does anyone have questions?" I raised my hand and I said, "Yes, I love this conversation, but what does this have to do with chemistry?" That's the class that we're in. There's literally a skeleton hanging over in the corner. Are we gonna get to that, Professor? I want to tell you this story. My friend JJ invited me at my time in Howard. He invited me freshman year to a poetry jam. Poetry slam, not poetry jam, guys. Oh boy, you caught that on tape. So he invited us to a poetry slam because he was going to be performing. And this room full of freshmen, born in the late 80s, people. And I swear to God, this was the performance that he did. He did this. There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug, that's the high and not the thrill. If you guys can't figure out by now, he was doing Kiss from a Rose by Seal in this poetry slam. And by the way, in this room full of freshmen, the amazing part was that everyone bought it. They thought that he was doing an original piece of poetry, including myself. I had no idea at that time. I was just like, wow, oh my goodness, I'm into this. I was snapping like everybody else. And it wasn't until years later when I turned 21 and went to karaoke for the first time that I heard that song. And at that point, I was just like, wow, did JJ hit the studio or something? He really went off to do a lot of great things. I'm 27 years old. I just turned 27 years old. Thank you for age. No, I realize that is the beginning of the late 20s, and that's still enough time for me to make changes to all of this before it becomes permanent, So what I've started doing is I've started introducing myself to new people with confetti. Okay, literally I'll just be out and about, and I'll just be like, hi there, nice to meet you. What's your name? Heather? Okay, nice to meet you, Heather. I'm Maurice Licorish! And then I leave. I just leave the establishment because that's how you make a well-lasting impression, with confetti and not by having a well-rounded personality. I want to leave you guys on this last thing. I want to tell you about the best concert that I ever went to, okay? And it was in 2011. It was Jay-Z, Kanye West, Watch the Throne tour. Right. I was in the front row, and I saw them. What made it the best concert ever? They played their hit song, Niggas in Paris, 11 times in a row. Back to back. They would launch into the song, and then halfway through, Jay-Z would turn to Kanye West and be like, whoa, 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 yay. I don't think this audience is feeling it. Run that shit back, and then start the song again. And they did that 11 times. They made me realize that they're the only people who could get away with doing that. There's no way that any other artist could do that. There's no way that, I could be like, whoa, 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 Miles. I don't think this audience is feeling my set. Run that shit back. I'm Maurice Licorish. I'm not gonna rob you. And that was good, right? Miss, right there? Yeah, thank you. What's your name? Naniela, it's nice to meet you. My name is Maurice Licorish!